Marvin. I'm the founder of Greasecar Vegetable Fuel Systems. We manufacture and sell conversion kits that allow diesel engines to run on vegetable oil. We're out here at the New Jersey Motor Park for the inaugural running of the RallyCar Rallycross Championship. And it's a little bit of a departure from what we're used to doing. We usually do stage rally, which is individual one-at-a-time cars out on gravel roads. This is multiple cars on a track at the same time. It's a bit of a learning curve, and here we come and check it out, this being the first event, and see how we can do. We're unique out here in that not only are we the only diesel-fueled vehicle in this series, we're running on 100% used cooking oil, and it's basically waste frying oil that's been filtered to remove water and particulates. We have a retrofit system on the car that allows it to run on dual fuel, either diesel fuel or the vegetable oil, and we're racing on the crude vegetable oil today.
So when you start up on diesel and then switch over?
Yeah, it's basically a heated fuel system. So you start up the engine on diesel to warm it up. When the coolant in the engine warms up, it circulates through heat exchangers that melt down the oil to make it a similar consistency to diesel, and then it switches over and it runs right on the heated vegetable oil. The oil on the car came from a fryer someplace. We actually have a company in Pennsylvania called Smarter Fuel that we buy our fuel from in bulk, and they collect it from thousands of restaurants around the Mid-Atlantic area, and they consolidate it, filter it, and sell it as fuel. But most of our customers will just use waste cooking oil from the local restaurant up the street, and they'll filter it in their garage and pour it in the tank that comes with the conversion kits we sell.
Cool. Let's take a look under the hood.
This is a later model TDI 1.9 liter diesel engine out of a 2003 Jetta, and we've retrofitted this with a old-fashioned style mechanical injection pump that you would, is similar to what you would see on an older 80s era vehicle, but it's a turbocharged diesel, and best known for being a high efficiency engine on in passenger vehicles where you can get 40 or 50 miles per gallon. We of course have it tuned for racing purposes, but even so, when we do stage rally events, we generally get 20 or 30 miles per gallon, whereas most other folks are getting somewhere in the teens at best. So it's a way to be racing with fuel efficiency as well as an alternative fuel.
Can you tell me a little bit about what's different on this engine from a normal TDI engine that's in a Jet or a Golf?
Well, there's a number of things different with the engine that are related to the performance and the racing aspects of it. It's got a water-cooled intercooler system that uses a water heat exchanger to cool down the hot air being produced by the turbo. It's got a different turbocharger and injectors and a tuned injection pump that all maximize the power output. And then as far as the stuff that's unique to it with the vegetable oil conversion, a lot of it's actually in the back, in the trunk, the spare secondary fuel tank and fuel filter. But under the hood here you can see these selector valves that select between the two fuel sources, and we have a little controller on the dash. You hit a button and you can switch between the two fuels. So there's no noticeable power difference between the two fuels, and generally once we get it warmed up, we switch it right over to the vegetable oil and run that for all of the actual racing. So this is where, since this is a racing vehicle, we're required to have all of our fueling equipment in this fireproof box back here, which is pretty dirty from our rallying. But what you can see here is this is the dual fuel system. So we have on this side the diesel fuel, and on this side the vegetable oil. And then we have two different fuel filters, one for the standard conventional diesel fuel, and a heated one down there that's heated by the engine coolant for the vegetable oil.
Don't need that today, though.
Well, we need to get the oil well up over 100 degrees to really get the viscosity where we want it. But certainly with the heat coming off the pavement, it helps warm things up. So this is where the vegetable oil goes in. And you know, we filled up the tank yesterday, and since even though we're going really fast and burning through a lot of fuel per miles, we're not running a lot of miles, so the fuel's holding up pretty well.